The Mavericks injury woes continue, this time with Kyrie Irving suffering what looks to be a potentially significant left knee injury on this play, being ruled out of the game shortly after. And then in this video, we're going to talk about what exactly happened here and what the injuries could be. Welcome back, everybody. I'm Dr. Brian Sutterer, and the goal in this channel, as always, is to teach you about the medical side of the sports world. And this is an important type of injury to just understand the difference between an injury and an injury mechanism, or a position of a limb. So what we're seeing here with Kyrie, of course, we're dealing with an injury to the left knee, and the team is officially calling it a left knee sprain. A sprain suggests some injury to something like a capsule or a ligament in a knee. And I want you to focus on his left leg as he drives in here towards the lane. In this position, about right there, his left leg is neutral. Specifically, the knee is in a neutral position. This is extended. It's a 0 degree or 180 degree, depending on how you look at it. And so if the knee were to come and the foot bend back this way, that would be flexion. If it goes further in that continued straight direction, that's hyperextension. So here, Kyrie's knee is hyper, meaning excessively extended. And so you can describe these in a couple of different ways. If you essentially take a line through the femur and then a line right there for the tibia, this angle right there would be the degrees of hyperextension. And I will admit, this looks to be a pretty significant amount of hyperextension, and we'll talk about what degree measurement could be associated with specific injuries. But this type of mechanism, so this position, has the potential to be everything from a mild injury to season ending. But remember, knee hyperextension is not a specific injury, it's just a descriptor of what we see with his left knee that can then lead to a variety of different specific types of injuries. Now, to understand that, we're going to take a look at our biodigital anatomy tool and work through the different layers of what can get injured with a hyperextension. But first, I want to give a quick shout out to the sponsor of our video. Today's video is sponsored by 8 Sleep. The Pod 4 Ultra is a high-tech mattress cover that you can easily add to your existing mattress in just a matter of minutes. It's packed with advanced technology that allows it to automatically cool, heat, and even elevate your bed. Look, quality sleep is an often overlooked but extremely important part of our recovery. And the Pod 4 Ultra has been clinically proven to increase your quality of sleep by up to 1 hour per night. It's like having your own advanced personal sleep coach right there on your bed and in the app. And speaking of the app, it's one of the best parts of this whole system because, again, it has this dual zone temperature control down to as cool as 55 degrees up to 110. So you and your partner can each individually control the specific temperature settings that you like. Also within the app, you can see your sleep fitness score to track and monitor your sleep quality. You can even look at heart rate variability. You can set bedtime schedules so that your bed is cool or warm just at the right time the way you like it. And even better, the app and the mattress cover will actually learn how you sleep and make automatic smart adjustments so that you don't have to worry about doing any of that yourself. So don't wait any longer to step up your sleep game. Head to the link in the description and use my promo code BRIANMD to get $350 off your own Pod 4 Ultra. The best part is you get 30 days to try it, and if you don't like it, you can return it, no questions asked, for a full refund. Trust me when I say your body, and probably your partner as well, are going to thank you for this investment in your health and well-being. Thank you again to 8 Sleep for sponsoring today's video, and let's get back to our learning. Now, the first structure that is typically going to be injured with a hyperextension is going to be the capsule and a specific ligament on the backside of the knee called the popliteal oblique, or the oblique popliteal ligament. The capsule is just the lining all the way around the joint. And so if we turn and look at the knee from the side on, of course, this is that neutral position. If you hyperextend, you're going to put tension or stretch on the backside of the knee, which can tear this capsule at a minimum. You can also injure this oblique popliteal ligament. And I will say this is not something that typically we think of like going in and surgically repairing when it's an isolated injury. This is just part of that sequence of what can progressively be injured as you move through superficial structures in deep. So then if we hide that capsule, we get down to our main ligamentous structures in the joint. And the big one that we think about here with the hyperextension in terms of ligaments is going to be the PCL and the ACL. And it's pretty self-explanatory here. You think of that position of the PCL running from the back side of the tibia to the front side of the femur, kind of in this orientation. And so if you take this part of the shin, you swing it forward, you put more tension on the back side, you can put excess tension on the PCL, tear the PCL. There is also possibility with these types of injuries for the ACL to get torn, again, because of that excessive amount of hyperextension that stretches the ligaments. Now, at a bare minimum, when we dive deeper than the ligaments, you're also going to see some degree of bone bruising. So when you put tension on the back side of the knee and stretch the back side, the opposite is going to happen with compression on the front side. That compression on the front of the knee is going to cause the femur and the tibia to contuse or bump together really hard, leading to a bad bone bruise. Other injuries that can occur are going to be to like the meniscus, not as common with a hyperextension. When we talk about the collateral ligaments on the side of the knee, that often comes into play if there's been a lot of varus or valgus, meaning side-to-side movement. And so it's helpful to go back and look at our injury mechanism to try and understand that. As we're looking at the sequence here straight on, as Kyrie is going into the lane, remember, keep an eye on that left leg. His right side gets bumped as he's falling over. Because he's falling over, he's trying to maintain his balance. That throws off the position of that left leg because of that unexpected contact. And we see that heel get stuck out in front of him and that left knee go into that hyperextended position. Now here from straight on, you can see we don't really see a lot of movement inside or outside of the joint. Everything stays in pretty neutral alignment, which bodes well for damage to the collateral ligaments. But again, when we rotate that around and we look at the degree of hyperextension, it is still fairly excessive. As Kyrie comes through here, we don't see any like positioning of the tibia that we can often see with something like an ACL when you're loaded, and so hopefully that's not the case. I will say too, these types of injuries with hyperextensions tend to not be quite as severe when there's not an external force pushing the knee backwards. Everybody, of course, remembers when this happened to Giannis during the playoffs and he only missed like a couple of weeks. And it looked about as bad as what we saw here with Kyrie. And what I mean by no external force is there's nobody falling into his leg. Usually when there's what I would consider a non-contact hyperextension, we don't see as bad of an outcome. But if you look at just cadaver studies, they find that around 30 degrees is where you start to see damage to those ligaments, the cruciates inside the joint. And that certainly is beyond 30 degrees. So again, as I always say with hyperextensions, these are some of the hardest injuries to predict severity of just from looking at it when we don't have any external load and we don't see any in or out movement with the joint. At a bare minimum, I expect a bone bruise. I expect a capsule sprain. Hopefully, we don't see any damage to the collateral ligaments, but we have to be prepared for that possibility. Again, this is something that can be a mild, like 2 to 3 week sort of absence, or it can be season ending. It's very hard to predict from just video alone. But that's the cascade of injury possibilities, starting external with the capsule, that popliteal oblique ligament, working our way inside, bone contusion, and potential collateral ligament injuries, cruciate ligament injuries with the ACL or the PCL. That's it for the video, everybody. Thank you as always for watching. Let me know any questions or comments down below. And until next time, we'll see you later.